Hello, my name is Rob McEwen. Dr. Ali, I would like to ask you a question regarding, we know from history that according to Roman law and Roman military custom, that when a Roman soldier was responsible for executing someone, if he failed in his duty to execute that person, it was his life, he would be killed in place of the person that he let get off. It seems to me this is a serious problem for any view that Jesus did not die on the cross. So I'd like your response to that.
Yeah, so this is not the entire story. What you said is true, that the Romans would have been responsible. The other side of it is that the Gospel of Matthew relates that when the soldiers who were there guarding the tomb went and reported back to the Jews that this happened, the angel came down, rolled away the stone, and Jesus was not there. So now what are they to do? The Jews, according to this narrative, told them, don't worry, if this comes to the ear of the governor, we'll pacify him. So that means that the governor could be pacified, according to this story. And in the meantime, we know from Matthew's Gospel that Pilate was doing everything, not only Matthew's Gospel, but the Gospels on the whole. He was doing everything he could to free Jesus. But the Jewish scholars at the time were bending his arm and saying, if you don't do something about it, we'll report you to Caesar. In the meantime, even Pilate's wife was seeing dreams about Jesus and saying, don't let any harm come to this man. Anybody could have moved the body. So the disciples didn't go inquiring about who has moved the body. They just went home to ponder. Instead of going out to investigate, they went home to think. And then they saw.
Now, notice what just happened, right? Shabir says, we know that Pilate wanted to help Jesus. Well, how do we know that? Because it's in the Gospels? He says, we know that Pilate's wife had a dream, and so she didn't want to improve. Really? Where do we know that from? The Gospels? But I thought all of these Gospels were in doubt, and that they had been embellished. Wouldn't those parts of the story have been embellishments? So why do we trust those details? And now it looks like we're starting to get down to the root of the methodology, which is if something fits the case that you want to make, then that's good, even if it's in Mark, Matthew, Luke, John, wherever. If it fits, then it's a good detail. If it doesn't, well, that's been corrupted. And that, I assure you, is not a good methodology.